All right, we meet again, yeah, in a different course.
Iya, Bapak.
Okay, how are you today?
Alhamdulillah, we are fine. And you, sir?
I'm very good, thank you. Okay, very good. So today we'll learn another course, which is the advanced assessment, yeah, on language teaching. Okay, so I heard from the matters, yeah, that there are 26 students in this class. Yeah? This is a big size class, yeah, 26. Okay, I hope you will be always was that highly motivated, yeah, in learning in any condition, yeah. Yeah, and I also heard that starting from this semester, we will meet online 40% of the meeting, which mean around 6 meetings, yeah, starting from now. And then we will continue having offline class, yeah, on-site class, that is in our campus, yeah. This is around 12 meeting, yeah, or 11 or 12 meeting. Okay, have all of you already heard the information about that?
Yes, Bapak. We
Yes,
already
Bapak.
know about the new rule.
Okay, very good. Okay, as a rule, in joining this course, I do hope that all students will always be on camera, yeah. Please don't hide, yeah. Please don't escape from the camera unless emergency happens, yeah. Like maybe typical internet connection, something like that. But I hope, yeah, all of you will always have stable connection of internet so that you can join this course, yeah, by being always on camera, yeah. Okay, Rodia, Irvin, are you there?
Bu Rodia izin ke
Yeah,
belakang katanya.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, through the chat, yeah. Okay, Irvin, are you there?
Yes, sir. Wait, I will on cam, sir.
Okay, good. All right. There are still 4 more students, yeah, who have not joined. Is that right? Information from Malimatus. Who are the 4 students? The 6 students, yeah. Tri Utami, are you there, Tri Utami? Oh yes, Tri Utami is here. Silviana, hello Sylvie. Yes, please, yeah. Sandi Fatahul Rahman. Sandi, yes, Sandi is here. And then Nur Aini. Nur Aini, okay. And then Andi Nugrah Suryardi.
Present,
Andi,
sir.
yes, Andi is here. Why don't you be on cam, okay? Oh, thank you. M. Irfan Julkarnain. Oh, yes. Oh, so there are 4 students from the British class, yeah? Who are there? Anybody knows? Hello?
Mas Adit, Bapak.
Adit?
Iya, Mas Adicita.
Adicita, ya?
Iya, Mas Adicita. Mas Adicita. Then, Mbak Roisa, are you here?
I'm
Ya,
not
Mbak.
sure, kayaknya nggak ada.
Iya, Mbak
Roisatul.
Roisatul. Mbak Roisatul Badriah.
Adicita, Mbak Roisatu. Okay, wait. It can be changed. Wait. Okay. All right, thank you very much for your coming. So, okay, today as usual, this is the first meeting of our class, and in this first meeting, I'd like to give some introduction to this course, and soon after that, we are going to discuss about the teaching learning activities. Yeah, as usual, I always believe that the student learning will be optimized whenever the students are given a lot of opportunity to do self learning. Yeah, to do self learning. Yeah, reading, writing, and presenting. Yeah, so this is always the what's that core, yeah, of any teaching learning process, especially the postgraduate program. Yeah, so I uh, I do believe that having class by for lecturing, yeah, for 2 hours a week, yeah, will not give you enough knowledge, yeah, on that. You'll never be clever, yeah, by joining a class which is tutorial, yeah. So what I believe is that the teacher should facilitate students to self-learning, yeah, autonomous learning. So as what we did in last semester, so we are going to divide this class into groups, and then each group will be responsible for what's that, for discussing, yeah, the selected topic, yeah, of assessment. So we will learn a lot from a lot of reading, yeah. So the students in the students in each member, yeah, of the group will be responsible to was there to search, find, and understand, and then write their understanding in the form of paper, and then presenting the paper in the class. Yeah, then we discuss the result of the students' reading, the students' writing, and the student presentation. We make some correction if any mistakes is found, and we can also broaden, yeah, the result of the student reading, the student writing, and presentation. Okay, this is what we have done in my class since last semester. But for the newcomers, I hope I still remember, yeah, Sandy. This belong to the LPTP classes, right? Sandy?
Yes, sir. But
Hello, Sandy.
yes, sir. But Diana told me to.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Can you hear my voice? I'm sorry, sir.
Yes. I can hear. I can hear you. Yes, please. So
Okay, so,
you belong to. Mhm.
actually, I ever joined the LPDP class because I don't know about the regulation yet. But after that, Mbak Diana told
Oh,
me
sorry.
to move
Yeah.
to just move to the
Okay.
regular class.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I know. Yeah. So you belong to the new regulations, yeah, not LPTP class, yeah. Also Irfan, yeah. So Erfan, yeah. Hello, Erfan. You are the
Yes,
newcomer.
sir. Yes, sir. First,
Yes.
your qualitative class, yes, and at the LPDP because but after rearranging the schedule, and it doesn't match my work schedule, so I join this class.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm also Andi Anugrah Surya. You know Andi?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you also the newcomer, yeah? Okay, so there are still others, yeah. Like is that real Kami? Yeah, and the other students. Okay, so there are still not three, four more students now, because 26 including me, yeah, in this class, yeah. There are still 23, so four more students are expected to come, yeah. This evening, yeah. Okay. All right. So, okay. So let me repeat once again. So today I'm going to give some introduction to this course to you, and then also discussing with you about the preparation of teaching learning activities in the following weeks. Yeah, especially in the division of the groups, so that you will be aware prior to the presentation, maybe at least 2 weeks before, yeah, so that you have enough time to make preparation, to read relevant references, and then to understand those references, to write your understanding in the form of paper and also slides, yeah, and then also later presenting what you have understood to us, yeah, to all of the class. Okay, this is the second, and then the the next I would like to present, yeah, some important points related to language assessment, yeah, especially English assessment. Okay, so before I start giving the introduction to this course, let's try to see the course outline first, yeah, course outline. Let me share. All right, can you see the handout there?
Clearly, sir.
Yes, Bapak.
Yes, good. Okay, very good.
That's better.
Okay, so this is the course, Advanced Assessment on Language Teaching. Yeah? Now, look at the description of this course. This course is designed to facilitate students to have more thorough and comprehensive knowledge in the area of language assessments and skills in developing instruments of language assessment, yeah, especially English, yeah, language is too general, yeah, English assessment, yeah. More particularly, this course is deliberated, yeah, is designed to help students make the distinction among evaluation, assessment, and testing context of English teaching, and then design classroom English tests and assessment. Tests belong to assessment later, yeah. And then develop instruments for assessing listening, speaking, reading, writing skills, and the components of language, yeah, such as grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation. Yeah? In an attempt to achieve the objectives and learning goals, students are motivated to search and read references which are relevant on the assigned topic, and then learn to select and use references for the assessment project. Yeah. So the assessment presentation later, and prepare their assessment project for classroom discussion, yeah, presentation. And then the content of this course cover the concept of evaluation, assessment and testing, principle of assessment in the context of English teaching, design of classroom assessment, test and assessment, instrument for assessing language skills, yeah, listening, speaking, writing, and so on. Yeah. So we will learn all of these throughout this semester. Yeah. Okay. And then, of course, based on the course, we can see that the objective of this course. By the end of this course, the students are expected to be able to make distinctions of the concept of evaluation, assessment, and testing, comprehend principles of assessment in the context of English teaching, design classroom English assessment, develop instrument for assessing language skill and language component, and then comprehend the use of classroom assessment for improvement of quality in ELT, yeah? English language teaching. So as I said, the learning activities would include reading and reviewing relevant course materials, especially the material that are relevant with this course, including the research journals. This is for empirical based materials. And then being present and actively participate in the class. Your participation should be detected, in the camera, that you present, in this class from the beginning up to the end of the class, not just at the beginning, in the middle you leave, and then by the end of the course you come again, not like that, So you have to be consistent in the classroom, starting from the beginning, of the meeting up to the end. And then doing some tasks, reviewing relevant sources for preparation of academic paper on English language. And then taking midterm tests and final tests. And then the last is writing an academic paper for English. This number 6 can be included into number 5 if the final test is a take-home test. Take-home test. Now the evaluation system, this system, the process of evaluation will cover both process and product. The process evaluation is focused on your classroom participation, starting from the attendance, and then your participation during the class and during the discussion, whether you interested to ask questions, give comments, give suggestion to the presenter, and then also task presentation, whether you do your task very well, you submit it on time, and so on. And this is the process evaluation. This belongs to attitude, attitude. Learning attitude, and then the learning the knowledge and skill will be seen from the product of your learning, that is the result of midterm test, and then also the result of the final test. Okay, good. Now up to this point, do you have any questions?
Not yet, Bapak.
Not yet. Is what I explained already clear to you?
Very clear, Pak Hartono.
Yes, Bapak.
Thank you very much. Okay, good. Okay, so let me go on with the more specific information related to the core concept of assessment. Okay. Now let me stop share screen first. Okay, I forget to take the screenshot. I think any of you, I don't know, usually Romatika and also Alimatus, please don't forget to take a screenshot. This is for documentation of the class, because this is online class.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. Whenever we are taking screenshot, all of you should be on cam, especially. All right, thank you. Okay, so now based on your bachelor degree learning, few or several years ago, now let me ask you about your understanding about the concept. I think all of us have been familiar with the term, evaluation, testing, and assessment. Anybody wants to give some brief clarification about the three terms: testing, assessment, evaluation? What do you know about the three terms? What do you know about evaluation, for example, testing, yeah, and assessment? Anybody, please?
Me, sir.
Yes, please.
In my opinion, testing is the first stage after or before, just like post-test, pre-test, like that. While assessment is after we took several tests, and after that we make some little evaluation on that test or make a summary on that test, just like a post test. So we can call it as assessment. And evaluation is after we took the assessment, we had the evaluation. So evaluation is the end of the test. So test is for knowing the beginning or the level of the students, and after that we go on to assessment. So it's just like the complete or the complex test that we had after the test, and the last we had the evaluation. That's my point of view about that.
Very good. Yeah, good. It's help us what's that, understand more, yeah, about the meaning of each concept or term. Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you, Nur Aini. Anybody else want to add the clarification, explanation about the three terms?
Sir.
Okay, Daniel. Good.
Yeah, I think Aini's answer is quite comprehensible. But I just want to give the additional that testing, yeah, Aini's right that testing is just test the specific skill of the language learner, like reading, writing, speaking, or stuff like that. But assessment is more complete rather than the testing itself. Assessment more into doing like the observation, interview, and also the testing itself could be one of the assessment. And the evaluation means that the process that we conclude in our entire assessment about the student or language learner, then we give the value or the scoring in the evaluation itself. That I think the difference between testing and assessment and evaluation.
Okay, very good. This give more, yeah, understanding, yeah, about the concept of testing, assessment, and evaluation. Anybody else?
Yes, Bapak.
Yes, good. Rodia?
Yeah, I think I am in line with my friends that I just want to make it simple, that testing to measure the level or skills or knowledge. And then evaluation is the process of making judgment based on certain criteria or evidence. And the last one, assessment, is the process of documenting the skills, the knowledge, maybe attitude. In Bahasa Desa, we call that one like a penilaian sikap, something like that. So those are the three differences among testing, knowledge, and evaluation.
Good.
Thank you.
Okay, very good. Yeah, there's another clarification, yeah, to make us better understand, yeah, about the three concepts. Still, anybody else? Let's try to explore, yeah. Each of us has our own understanding because we see the same thing from different angle, yeah, from different perception. Okay, let me try to pick up, as many pieces of information as possible, from all of you. Anybody else want to add the meaning of testing, assessment, and evaluation? Yes, please. Hello, everybody. Hello? No more? Are you sure? Try to flashback, to the 2 or 3 years ago, when you study in a S1 degree. What do you understand about the term testing, assessment, and evaluation? Hello? Okay, so no more ideas? Okay, now let's try to discuss this together, It's about the concept of the assessment, Okay. Now look at this, So let's start from the word evaluation first, So evaluation is an all-inclusive term, the term which become an umbrella of other related terms. So this is the widest basis for collecting information in education. This is broader in scope and concerned with overall program, not only activities, but this is the program. So evaluation involves looking at all factors that influence the learning process, like the syllabus, design, material, curriculum, and it is a one way to make a decision. So evaluation is broader in concept compared with assessment and testing. Some let's say a teacher may be able to make evaluation based on the result of the data which have been collected from testing and assessment. So evaluation here involves making decision. When a teacher want to decide whether a student passed or not, then he is doing evaluation. Evaluation. Whether a teacher, whether a headmaster, when a headmaster wants to see whether a certain program that is already designed, throughout the year successful or not, then he or she is making an evaluation. So evaluation involves decision. Decision. Okay. Now, let's go with the assessment. So once again, evaluation is broader in scope. It is an umbrella term. It covers the assessment and testing. Okay, so assessment is a part of evaluation. It concerns with what the student does during the children process. It is a variety of ways, not only a single way, one way, but varieties of ways of collecting information on the student language ability or achievement. Whenever a teacher is is planning to collect information about his or her student achievement, then he can do what we call assessment. Remember, assessment is variety of ways, several ways, including testing. So testing is one of assessment, one kind of assessment. So assessment can be done through testing, but can also be done through non-testing activity. Later we talk about that. So it is an umbrella term for all types of measures, used to evaluate the student progress, to make judgment, evaluate. Okay, so the broadest term is evaluation, and then the narrower term is assessment, and the narrowest term is testing, because testing is a kind of measure that is used to evaluate the students' success in learning, or the student progress in learning. Not only progress, also product, in learning. Okay, so this is assessment. So once again, assessment can be done through testing or through non-testing activities. Can you mention the example of non-testing activity in order to measure the student ability? Like what, for example? Anybody? If you want to know your teacher's mastery or ability in a certain aspect of English, for example, beside through testing, what can you do?
Portfolio,
What will you
Bapak.
do? Huh?
Portfolio.
Portfolio, very good. So you collect the documents, relevant document from the students in order to make judgment, to evaluate. What else? Portfolios is an umbrella term. Inside portfolios, you find many documents, many relevant documents related to the students' learning progress. Can you mention specific example of non-testing activity? Yes.
Maybe a kind of observation. We don't take a real test. We just observe the student about their progress. So we cannot say it's a testing, but we just do some observation to the progress of our students' ability or skill.
That's right. That's right. Observation is another way to assess the student attitude, performance. 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 If you want to know the student performance, you can make observation, or maybe the student's response, the student interest, the student motivation, in learning. You may do what we call observation. What else?
It can be interview, sir.
Interview. That's also right. Interview. Interview is also a part of assessment in order to collect information related to the student learning progress. So observation, interview, testing, portfolio. There are still many others like student task, assignment, project. So those kinds of assessment, are commonly done by teachers whenever the teachers want to collect the students' data, in order to make evaluation. Okay, very good. Now the next, testing. Testing. Test is subcategory of assessment, as I said. It is a part of assessment because there are other ways of conducting assessment. So test is just subcategory. It is commonly formal, systematic procedure. Usually involving paper and pen stuff. This is a traditional test. But now you say computerized test. Used to collect the information about student behavior, ability, mastery, achievement. So this is more specific. Test is more specific. It is related to subcategory assessment. Yeah, so later we are going also to learn the way how to develop the this instrument, yeah, testing, yeah, because testing is more commonly used to measure the student ability, mastery, or achievement. Yeah. Okay, good. So this one is the the important terms that we have to be familiar with, yeah, in order to understand the concept of assessment. So why is this course name assessment? Yeah, because it is intended to cover, yeah, not only limited way of knowing the student ability, mastery, achievement, but it can cover variety of ways, yeah, through testing and non-testing, yeah. Okay, I think that's the idea, yeah. Okay. Now let's try to talk about the types of assessment. Yeah. Assessment can take in the form of formal or non-formal or informal. Yeah, informal and formal assessment. It can also be formative and summative assessment. Again, yes, summative, formative. Yeah, it can also discrete point and integrative assessment, subjective and objective assessment. Okay, so what is difference between formal and informal assessment? Anybody has an idea? You know? No ideas? Formal and informal assessment. Can you give your ideas about the difference between the two?
Maybe it's based on the place or the institution. I mean, formal way we did it in an institution, while formal way we did it in an institution, just like at school, like that. While informal, we usually do it for non institution assessment, just like daily assessment in our real life, just like that. So it based on the place, maybe like that.
All right, that's okay. That's okay. That's an idea related to the difference between informal and formal assessment. Yeah. So the difference lies in the different setting or place. Okay, good. Any other ideas?
In my mind, that formal
Yeah.
assessment is structured assessment, but in the
Mhm.
other hand, that informal assessment is something more like enjoyable, or maybe more ya informal, kayak sesuatu yang lebih santai gitu, sir.
So this is so what is the differentiation was that based on? This is not based on the setting of place, but this is based on what? Formality?
Yeah, I mean that when in the formal assessment, that we structurize the assessment, making the what kind of the assessment that we want in our course design, and so and then for example, like what kind of what skill that we want to assess, or and then we make it as structure as we can as the teacher. But in the informal assessment, it is more unstructured. That's, I think, the difference between the formal assessment and also informal assessment.
Okay, good. Right. Any other different opinion? Do you have any different perception about the differences between informal and formal assessment?
Iya, Bapak.
Yes, okay. Yes, please.
Okay, probably in my opinion or in my perception for formal assessment, we use such kind of what is that data driven, yeah, using documents and then grading system like A, B, C, D, or E. And meanwhile, for informal assessment, it is such kind of what is that? I can say that it is the intuition of a teacher. I mean, deciding whether this one is good, it is not quite capable in this one, and another one. It is based on the intuition of the teacher itself. Sorry, himself or herself. That's it.
Okay.
Pak.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. Okay. Anybody else? No? Okay. We will yes.
So informal and formal assessment. Formal assessment is based on the certain standard, or it's like structured. But for informal, for example, during the competition, so we can do formal assessment in competition, but informal one is in the process of practice. So I'm trying to give example. So when we are doing informal assessment, we do it during the process. But for formal one, this is at that competition or structured.
Okay. Okay. Good. Good. Yeah. So there's another what's that? Perception. Yeah. The difference is based on what's that? Different angel. Yeah. Okay. Good. Anybody else still want to have clarification about the formal and informal assessment? No. Now let's
Yes,
go
sir.
with yes, please.
Yeah,
Ilvi, yes?
actually, I just wanna give like simple explanation about informal assessment. I guess that for formal assessment, that we can say the main assessment that we must follow is like kind of be systematically. I mean that arranged by systematically. But for informal one is like kind of assessment that made or developed by the teacher based on the aspect of the criteria of the student that are in the classroom. Thank you, sir.
Okay, okay, very good. Yeah, good. All right, thank you, Irfi. Yes. Now, next, before we move on, do you still have any ideas? No? Okay, now let's go on with formative and summative assessment. Now, what do you understand, yeah, of these two terms, formative and summative assessment?
Maybe I would like to share my opinion about formative and summative assessment, sir.
Okay, yes, please.
So for me, formative assessment is the process of giving a feedback for students while in learning activities, such as, for example, is giving a question and answer in the middle of the learning activities. While in summative assessment is to summarize their understanding about the learning, as the giving of the final test of midterm test, like that.
Okay, good, very good. All right, thank you. Good. Any other ideas? Formative and summative. I think these two terms are very familiar to teachers, yeah? Formative and summative.
Sir,
Yes, please, Daniel.
I think formative and also summative is very popular in the for teacher in school. That actually formative is about the assessment in process. So we assess the student based on their progress in the teaching and learning process. But summative means that we assess the student in the end of the program or in the end of the semester. I think that's about the formative and summative assessment, sir.
Okay, very good, Daniel. Yeah, thank you very much. All right. Okay, the other students?
Yes, Bapak.
Yes, Rodia.
So I can describe the informative assessment. That means we let the students know what they are learning, and for summative one, let the students know what they have learned. It's
Mhm.
like what my friend described about end of the learning.
Mhm. Okay, okay. Yeah, okay, good. Okay, this is a difference, yeah, between formative and summative assessment. Let's I'm going to clarify all this concept. After we was that try to brainstorm, yeah. The other students, please. Formative, summative.
Yeah, I just wanna add, or I mean, just wanna sum up from several point of view from my friends. I think formative and summative assessment related to the process. Formative is the process of doing it or developing, for example, a product, or if it is at school, of course, developing the knowledge to the students. While summative, we did the test in the end, or the process we have already done with the product or the skill that we transferred to the students. So summative, we did the test in the end after we develop the test or the product. So it's
Okay.
based on the process.
Okay, very good. Yeah, so this is another was that understanding, yeah, about the formative and summative assessment. Okay, still there are other students who want to give some opinion. Hello, about formative and summative assessment.
Bapak, may I add
Yes,
the
Rahmatika.
idea related
Yeah.
to the formative and summative assessment? As mentioned by all the students before, that formative is something that the teachers do during the learning process, like
Okay.
ulangan harian, or the
Okay.
what is that, like self-reflection from the student.
Okay,
And
very good.
usually the formative assessment can be reflect on the summative assessment. And
Okay.
as long as my experience, sometimes if the student already have a good result on in the formative assessment, usually the teacher can take the score for the summative assessment. So usually the teacher doesn't need to conduct the summative assessment.
Okay. Okay. That's possible, yeah. Okay, good. Okay, any more ideas from other students? Hello? No more? Okay, now the last concept, yeah, subjective and objective assessment. Yeah, anybody? Yes, please.
Sir,
Yes, Daniel.
in my opinion, that I also experienced about the subjective and objective assessment itself. Subjective assessments here mean that the assessment that the characteristic of the assessment itself is more subjective for the people that assess the one. For the example, like opinion or maybe experience. For the example, like the assessment for the capability of teacher in delivering that material. Students give their comment about what I'm doing, about how I teach them. That is, of course, students give their opinion about me. So they give their subjectivity to assess me. That is the subjective assessment. But different with the objective assessment, when when the assessment based on the factual, or maybe some kind of like test that objectively it will assess someone or the learner. For the example, like the test itself, or the testing. For example, like having a test in reading, for example. So by the score of the reading itself, it will give the information to the teacher about the progress of the student in reading. I think that's
Okay.
a subjective and objective assessment.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, this is one idea from Daniel. Yeah, for the difference between subjective and objective assessment. Okay, any other students want to say something about this one? Subjective assessment and objective assessment. Hello.
Bapak, I will try to give
Okay,
you
Ramatika.
opinion.
Yes.
Related to the definition that mentioned by Mas Daniar, he mentioned that subjective assessment is something that the personal opinions. But for me, finishing the subjective assessment is not quite easy, because sometimes students need to learn more about some of the concepts. Because one of the subject assessment, as I know, is like writing essay. For some student, writing essay is quite easy, but for the other, it's quite hard because they don't have any experience. So I think subjective assessment is good for the students who already has experience before.
Okay.
That's all, Bapak.
Okay, good. Okay, this is another clarification, yeah, but the difference between both terms. Still, anyone else want to say something about this? Hello? No? No more? Are you sure? All right. If there is no more ideas, now let's try to see the following explanation here. Okay. So look at this. So informal assessment, yeah, can take a number of forms. It can be incidental or unplanned comments from the teacher, yeah, or incidental responses, yeah, along with the feedback, yeah, that is given to the students. In other words, informal assessment commonly happens during the teaching learning process. So this is also called process assessment instead of product assessment. Yeah. So informal assessment can be process assessment. Assessment which is done during the teaching learning process. The teacher's comment, the teacher's feedback, the teacher's suggestion, yeah, the teacher's responses to the students' activities can be regarded as informal assessment. Yeah. Now, on the other hand, formal assessment are exercises or procedures specifically designed to measure certain skills and knowledge. Yeah, this is related to the product of learning. Yeah, so this is exercises and procedures which are intended to measure, yeah, the student skill or the student ability and knowledge. So this is formal. Yeah. Later, you will be aware that these terms are identical with the other related term. Okay, so let me underline, yeah, the difference between formal and formal. Informal can be done during the teaching and learning process. Formal assessment is commonly done after a certain teaching learning process. It can be after a certain unit of teaching, then the teacher gives a kind of assessment. It can be in the form of doing exercises or giving a test, yeah, something like that, because this is decided formally, yeah, in order to measure the students. Okay. Now the next, formative and summative. These terms are similar to the previous term. Formative assessment, yeah, is assessing the student in the process of forming the competencies or skills with the goal of helping the students to continue their learning growth, their learning progress. In other words, formative is similar to informal or formal. Hello? Formative assessment is similar to informal or formal assessment.
I think it's formal.
Informal.
Formal.
Yeah. So the term is similar to informal. So formative assessment is assessment which is done during the teaching learning process. Yeah. But summative assessment, this is measuring or summarizing what students have understood, have learned, and typically happening at the end of a course or a unit of instruction. Yeah. So we are familiar with midterm tests, final tests. Those belong to summative assessment. Okay. So this one is common terms that that are often used in educational field. Yeah. Now the next, discrete point and integrative assessment. Now discrete point assessment, okay, refers to constructed on the assumption that language can be broken down into scales and components. Yeah, discrete point. So language, English, yeah, can be broken down into scales. That is listening, reading, speaking, and writing. Yeah, or its component like grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, for example. So the assessment is done within the limited types of skill or component. Yeah. So it can be listening assessment, speaking assessment, yeah, reading assessment only, something like that. But on the contrary, yeah, integrative assessment is constructed on the assumption that language is a unified set, yeah, of interacting abilities that cannot be tested separately. Yeah. So English is regarded as a set of unit, yeah, which should not be broken down into components and scales. So these are the two opposing sides. Yeah. So commonly speaking, when English is learned in the school context, from elementary, for example, junior and senior schools, they are usually regarded as a unified set of interacting abilities. But if it is learned at the university or college context, for example, in the English department, because it is already deep and narrow, then English is broken down into scales and components. Yeah. So in S1 degree, for example, you learn listening as a scale, yeah, as a separate scale, speaking and so on. So the test can also be directed toward each scale which is emphasized, which is focused in the teaching learning process. But in the school context, usually English is regarded as a unified set. Yeah. So the test of English, yeah, not only the test of, let's say, speaking or reading, yeah. But in a common context, in a specific context, it can also be broken down, yeah, depending on the focus of the teacher. Okay. Okay, so this is the difference between discrete point and integrative point. Let me ask you, a TOEFL test, standard TOEFL test, Does it belong to discrete or integrative assessment? TOEFL test? You know?
English that can be
Huh?
DPA, discrete
Yes,
point.
sir.
Discrete point or integrative?
I
TOEFL,
think
IELTS?
Okay, I think it is a discrete point because when we did TOEFL test, the first time we had the listening, right? After that, after the listening, we had reading test and also structure. So it's not during the test, we did it in a discrete point assessment. But in the last or in the end of the test, the result is just like a whole or
Yeah.
integrative assessment, just like that. But
Yeah.
when we did the test, it just like discrete. This is listening test. This is reading test. This is grammar test. But in the end, we know the whole or integrative assessment. The score is just like integrative assessment.
So
So
if
during the
that is the
test,
case, yeah.
so during the test, I think it's a discrete point because integrative, just like dictation, we listen and then we write. How to pronounce it, how to write the real or the right words or the right letter. So it's just like integrative, like right. Integrative, we use not only listening, but we use our vocabulary and also the other skill that we use in one test. Not discrete, tidak terpisahkan, right? Integrative means menggabungkan. We combine listening with reading or listening with writing in one test. But in TOEFL test, we separated, discredited. So in my point of view, I think it include to DPA.
Okay. Okay. Is there any good ideas, Nuraini? Any other opinion? What do you think about TOEFL, IELTS, or TOEIC? Yeah. What do they belong to? Discrete point or integrative?
So, Pak, I'll
Yeah,
try.
Rahmatika?
Because in the DPA is construct like on the definition. In my opinion, the what is TOEFL IELTS itu kan sebutnya English test for the kompetensi itu kan ya. Apa sih bahasa Inggrisnya lupa. I think it's involved in DPA. Because they all test listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And why, in my opinion, that IELTS and TOEFL is not it doesn't involve in integrative assessment because in the previous semester, I already did the presentation about the focus and unfocused test, Bapak. So I think the term is almost the same with the discrete point and integrative assessment. In integrative assessment, one of the example is like the students doing the presentation or discussion or doing debate. That's one of the integrative assessment, for example.
Okay.
That's all, Bapak.
All right, good. Thank you, Rahmatika. Okay, still any other opinion from the other students? TOEFL, what does it stand for?
I'll translate.
Test of English as a foreign language.
Good. Test of English as a foreign language. Okay. Good. Now, what does it belong to? Discrete point or integrative?
Integrative, in my opinion, sir.
Okay. Why do you know?
Yeah, since the result measuring our English proficiency, I mean the whole things over there. Yeah, the whole things. Even it is what is that? During the test, it is divided into some parts, like my friends mentioned before. But in the end of the result, it is about English proficiency itself.
Okay, yes, exactly. Yeah. Okay, so now let me clarify once again. So the discrete point test refers to a test or an assessment specified into skill or component. So listening test only. This is what we call discrete point without relating it to other skills or component. Yeah. But in TOEFL, IELTS, or maybe TOEIC, you'll find that this is test of English, not test of English of a certain skill of English. Yeah, test of English. That's why it's covered not only reading, listening, yeah, but also writing. Yeah, and even the new version of TOEFL, it also involved speaking. Yeah, so this is called integrative assessment because it covers, yeah, not only one or a single skill or component of a language, but it covers several. Although the practice of testing is done scale by scale, but as a whole, the test is considered integrative because it covers not only a single scale, yeah, like what Dino has explained. Yeah. Okay, very good. So that is the difference with discrete point and integrative assessment. Yeah. Now, in school context, can you give an example of discrete point test in school context? When you teach English at elementary school or maybe junior and senior school, can you give an example of discrete point test that a teacher is given to the students?
For the example for the discrete point, I think like the vocabulary quiz or like fill in the blank. Usually we are only focused on the certain thing, like maybe we focus on the preposition or the adjective. I think the two things are one of the two are the example of the discrete point assessment.
Yeah. So once again, in any context of learning, including school context, whenever a teacher only give a single scale or component of language to measure, yeah, then it is called discrete point. Yeah, when the teacher maybe in a certain testing, the teacher focus only on the student reading comprehension. So the teacher just give the reading text and then ask the student to answer based on the given question. This is called discrete point test. Yeah, but if the teacher, yeah, integrate several scales and also component in the testing, then it is called integrative. Usually in the summative test, for example. Yeah, the test in the school context, what kind of test is given in the summative test at the end of semester?
I think in the school context for integrative assessments, like ujian, even though there's no ujian nasional at this time, but I think that one is the example of integrative assessment.
Yeah. So
because it covers listening, reading. It covers listening and reading for high school students.
Yeah.
So
okay, yes, good. So in the school's context, we usually teacher at the end of semester, yeah, or at the end of a year, yeah, in a year, the teacher will give a kind of overall, yeah, integrative test, yeah, to the student assessment, yeah. Okay, good. Now let's go on. The last, subjective and objective. So a test is called subjective, or an assessment is called objective whenever the items give the testee or the student more than one possible correct answer. This is subjective. But if the correct answer is only one, this is called objective. Okay, so can you give an example of objective type test?
I think like multiple answers, objective.
Multiple choice. Okay, multiple choice. Yeah. The test was that provide the student with option. Yeah. Each item is provided with option. Option A, B, C, D, and then the student are required to choose the correct one, either E, B, or C, or D. Yeah. Okay. So
Or
what
for
else?
essay question,
Huh?
essay questions,
Essay
essay
question?
question,
Yes.
essay questions,
Essay. Yeah. You mean
essay.
essay.
Yeah, that's right.
So essay belongs to subjective or objective?
Subjective,
Why is it subjective?
because it is probably it has more than one possible answer.
So
like a description.
Yeah. So the items, the question is the same, but the answer may be different. Yeah, from student to other students. Yeah, but if it is objective, the answer must be only one. Yeah. So that's why in the objective type test, the teacher needs answer key. Yeah. So the objective type test here is very easy to score. Everybody can score as long as he or she has the answer key. A machine can also do it. Yeah. You understand? But it is different from subjective type test or subjective type assessment. Yeah, in which the answer of the items can vary. Yeah, from student to students. Okay, good. Now, can you give an example of objective type test? Anybody? One single answer. One item only.
True or false, sir?
True or false? Okay. Can you give an example of true or false statement, for example?
Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Let me think. Yeah.
Okay.
For example, if we have for example, a short paragraph, and then such kind like this. Dino's hair is long, and he has long and black hair, for example. And then one question there is, Dino's hair is short and black, for example. True or false? Such kind like that, sir.
All right. Okay. So only one single statement and then provided with option.
Option,
True
yes.
or false. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. The student will choose either one. Okay. All right. So once again, objective type test or objective type assessment is an assessment which only provide a single correct answer. No interpretation. No other interpretation. Yeah. That's why answer key is needed. Yeah. Now, subjective assessment, yeah, or subjective test, yeah, is one which which give the students chance to have different answer. Yeah, that's why it is difficult to score subjective type tests rather than objective. Yeah, this is called subjective because each student may have different correct answer. Different correct answer. Yeah. Not only different answer. In other words, the correct answer is not only a single correct answer. It can be multiple correct answer, but with a certain degree. You understand? Yeah.
Yes.
So this is 100% correct, 90% correct, 80% correct, and so on. So that's why rubric of assessment is needed when subjective assessment is used. What is the function of rubric?
To give the indicator, sir.
Okay, to explain the indicator of scoring. Why indicators are needed?
Because one more time, there is no exact answer over there.
Okay, if there is no clear indicator, the reliability of scoring will be very low. You understand what I mean? Okay, the consistency is very low. Yeah, the same student answer scored by one teacher, the result may be far different from the other correction done by different teacher.
Another teacher, yes.
Another teacher. Yeah, if there is no rubric.
Assessment rubric.
Okay, you understand? Okay, so these are the common terms that we will meet, yeah, in a lot of references, yeah, related to English or language assessment. Yeah, there are still maybe other few terms that we are going to meet in the middle of the teaching learning process later. Yeah, but these are commonly found, yeah, in the topic of assessment. Yeah. Okay, so I have introduced you to the common terms, yeah, that are used in the context of language assessment. Okay, now let me ask you, yeah, to give an example, just one example of subjective assessment. Anybody wants to give it? The example of subjective assessment, subjective test, for example.
Writing test, sir.
Writing test. Okay, so the writing test. The instruction should be, please write a paragraph with the topic of, write a paragraph of about 10 sentences, yeah, with the topic of blah, blah, blah. This is a example of subjective assessment. Now, in order to know whether the student writing is very good, yeah, moderate, poor, or very poor, then we need rubric.
Rubric.
Okay. What are the indicators of being very good? Indicators being good or poor, very poor, and so on. Okay. So that the scorer will have the same perception of a good paragraph. Okay. So this is very important. Yeah. Subject. Okay. Good. All right. Do you have any questions about this? No?
Bapak, I have a question.
Yes.
So for the previous slide, for the previous slide, Bapak.
The
Sorry.
previous slide. Sorry. Which one? Which?
Okay, no. The last one.
On the last one. This one?
Yeah, that one. Okay, subjective and objective for only has one correct answer. So this is my question. As you know that the format of IELTS test, one number may consist of two correct answers. So I can assume here that we say that objective assessment isn't stated as one correct answer, but it's like how do I describe it? In IELTS test, we have, student have one question and then they have to choose more than one answer, right? So even though this is, the student, maybe the question covers two correct answers, we still say that this is objective assessment because there is standard here. I don't know how to say it in one question, there are more than one answer. So for example, A to G, and then the correct answer, probably 2 or 3 based on the key. So, okay, so I can say that even though it has more than one correct answer, that one is still objective assessment because it is stated on the key answer or stated as required.
Now, this is a unique set of items. Yeah, it is quite possible that an item lists several options, not only A, B, C, D, but A, B, C, D, E, H, and so on. Yeah. As a result, the answer may be not only one, but two. But remember, in the item, the correct answer is only one. One here consists of A, C, and E, for example. You understand?
Yeah.
It also belongs one correct answer.
Mhm.
Item number 3 gives the 8th option. The correct option is 3, A,
Okay.
C, and D. This is one correct answer. If the student doesn't if a testee does not answer 3, the score is minimized or will be wrong. You understand what I mean? Huh?
So-
Okay. Now, can you give an example of?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So when an item, is set with several options, and the correct answer of the option is not only single but 2 or 3, it's still considered that the test has one correct answer. That is, the correct answer for item number 7 are A, C, and F. Okay. If the student asks answer other than that, it is wrong. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, so it's all considered one correct answer. Although the correct answer are more than one. Okay. Good.
Yes, Papa. Thank you.
Now let me give you an example like this. If the teacher asked, let's say, what is the name of the main character in the text? Yeah. For example, the name of the character is what is it? For example, this is a legend. Yeah. The name is the story. Pangeran Imam Bonjol, for example. Yeah. Pangeran Imam Bonjol. If the item is stated like this, who is the main character of the story? Is it subjective test or objective test?
Objective.
Objective.
Once again, the students is provided with a history text, in which the text was that tell story about Pangeran Imam Bonjol. Imam Bonjol. Now, one of the question is stated, who is the hero or who is the main character of the story? Is it subjective or objective?
Objective, sir.
Why is it objective?
Because the main point is choosing the main hero stated there.
Okay. Yeah. But whenever a question is still open, although the answer seems to be single, it is subjective. Why? Because different students may give different answer. For example, one student answer the main character, the complete answer. The main character is Pangeran Imam Bonjol. Maybe another student directly answer Pangeran Imam Bonjol. Other student may answer Imam Bonjol, no Pangeran. In other words, when a question is open, although the answer seems to be single, it is considered as subjective rather than objective. You understand?
Okay,
If it is
so
objective, it is a closed item, no alternative, because the answer is put in the option that the student have to select. You understand?
Yeah, so Bapak, if the question like that, do we need such kind of indicator, Bapak? I mean,
Oh yes, of course.
for example, if
Mhm.
the complete one, the indicator is
Mhm.
stating Imam Bonjol,
Yeah.
Imam Bonjol, it is correct.
Yes.
Whether it is completely Tuanku Imam Bonjol, Pangeran Imam
Yeah.
Bonjol, as long as it
Yeah.
is Imam Bonjol is correct like that, ya,
Yeah.
Pak. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So there must be a rubric too. So the more complete the answer, the greater the score is. Yeah. Very complete. Tuanku or Imam Pangeran Imam Bonjol, for example, this is 100 correct, 100% correct. And then if it's only Imam Bonjol, or maybe what's that? The main character is, so this is the long complete answer. Maybe short answer, incomplete answer. The answer is correct, but with a different degree. Yeah, with different degree. You understand? That's why, although the question is simple, the answer to be single, but if it is open question, it is considered as subjective assessment. Yeah. Okay, good. This is just to clarify. Yeah, to clarify the concept of subjective and objective test. Yeah, or assessment. Okay, good. Any more
Bapak,
question, please? Yes.
I have one question related
Hmm.
to the IELTS test. It's also the same with Bu Rodia because in IELTS test, I'm not sure. I think it is on the listening part. We usually have to write down the certain phrase, a word, or like a short sentence with the correct capital letters. Like if it is writing the name of the people, so we have to start with the capital letter. So it is involved as the objective assessment. Is it all right?
Yeah, if it is an open question, of course it is subjective. But if it is closed question in which options are provided, and this is subjective. Because if options are provided, the correct answer will be definite. You understand? But if it is too open, meaning that the testee has to, what's that? To write, yeah, to write down about that one, it is subjective because each testee will give different answer. Maybe one name will be only what's that? Let's say capitalize one word, capitalize completely, partly, something like that one. You understand?
Okay, Bapak. I got
So
the point.
whenever the answer of the student subject to variation, it is subjective. If there is no variation of the answer, in other words, there is only one single correct answer, then this is called.
Bapak, may I?
Yes.
Okay. As far as I know, for IELTS, I got class for IELTS last time. That I think that one is objective because they have certain criteria. So it's like whenever we do not write correctly based on their criteria, so we don't get any point. So there is information in that. So for example, we do not write the preposition if we are asked to write the phrase, for example. So it is incorrect. So so based on my experience and my opinion, I think that one is objective. Is that?
Once again, if there is no variation of student answer, of the test's answer, this is called objective. But if the student answer may vary, it is objective. Just think about that one. If it is, if it's subject to variation, of course, rubric is needed. This is about what you just mentioned. What about the answer? Is it in the form of option or is it in the form of open-ended? When where the students are given chance to state, to write their answer. Because if the students are given freedom, there may be different answer among students. Okay, Rodia, the item that you just explained to us, what do you think? Do the student have possibility to give different answer?
Yes, probably. So
Yes,
like
of
a,
course.
yeah.
If it is yes, it is subjective.
Oh,
Then you
okay.
need rubric, of course. How many percent the student correct in giving capitalization, on giving preposition? How many percent are wrong? It in terms of degree. That's why rubric is needed. If
Okay, got it, sir.
students
Thank
are
you.
correct in that's one. Okay, good. Any other question, please?
Me, sir.
No? Yes, please.
When we assess in a subjective assessment, I feel like just like afraid of bias. Although we have the guideline from the rubric, how to avoid the bias in assessing the subjective assessment, because what we think, or maybe in my point of view, for example, when I assess an essay, oh, this is a good essay, it has the opening like this, and then the supporting idea and etc. But the other teacher or other assessment, the one who assess, so no, I don't think so. So they give the lowest score from the rubric than me. So how to avoid the bias?
Good.
Like that.
This is a good question. Yeah, this is a good question. Yeah. So raters may have different understanding of the rubric. That's why training of using the rubric is needed. Make sure that the different rater have the same understanding of the rubric. Otherwise, they will give different score. You understand? So training of using the rubric correctly should be done before doing assessment, before doing scoring. Yeah, for example, Dino and Nur Aini are going to assess the same essay. You need to have the same perception with Dino about the rubric. What we mean by main ideas like this one. What is the topic sentence like this one? You should understand, yeah, the rubric, yeah, in the same way.
Yeah.
And this is to minimize. Sometimes training has been done, perception have been reached, for example, but because each of us is unique, it is still possible to have different score.
More.
So what should be done if between the two rater, the disparity or the difference of score is high? For example, one rater, one scorer give a score of 50, the other give 75. Then the third rater is needed to score the result of the score with the items which show the disparity of score.
Okay.
Maybe not all items. Then you have to make the criteria. Yeah. What difference is tolerated? Yeah. If it is too high, then you need the third rater. You understand?
Yeah. Okay.
If you
May I
yes,
sum up? Okay,
yes.
so from your explanation, I need to set about three people who did the assessment, and also we have to do the training first to make it sure that our perception is the same with the rubric, and also the way we think or the point of view that we had. Is that so?
Yeah. Maybe not was that all three of them, three raters, are assigned to score the essay. What I mean is that only the items which shows great difference of score will be scored by the third rater.
I see.
So you have to determine the tolerated difference. Yeah.
I see.
What difference is tolerated? For example, okay, because this is using 1 to 100 scale score, yeah, then I think 10 or less than 10, yeah, or maximum 10 different scores should be rated by should be scored by the set rater. But less than that, it's okay, yeah, because the difference is not significant. You understand?
Yeah,
For
yeah.
example, for the same student, you give score 75, and then Dino gives score 77. It is a very small difference, yeah, not
Yeah,
significant. So you tolerate. You do not need the third rater.
Yeah.
Yeah, only the score which is very different. Yeah,
Yeah.
need the third rater. Okay, you understand?
Different gap.
Yeah. Okay. So once again, in order to avoid the bias in scoring, then there are at least two ways to do. The first, training of the raters about the rubric is very needed. Yeah. Secondly, in case there is a disparity of the scores given by the first and second rater, the third rater is needed. If not, it's not needed. Yeah. You understand?
See, yeah. Thank you so much for the explanation.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, thank you. Any more questions, please? No more? Okay, thank you very much. Now, if there is no more question, I would like to go on with the grouping, yeah, the grouping. So this is the end of our introductions to assessment course, ya. Tadi sekedar pengantar, saya memperkenalkan istilah-istilah yang umum digunakan di dalam mata kuliah assessment atau topik assessment, ya. Mulai dari assessment, evaluation, testing, and then formal, informal, discrete, what's that? Integrative, yeah, and so on. Yeah, so those are common terms that we will find in the this course. Yeah. Okay, very good. Now, before we end our meeting, I would like to, as I said, to divide this class into groups. Yeah. To prepare your further learning, ya. Jadi saya selalu yakin bahwa mahasiswa itu akan mendapat ilmu yang begitu mendalam, luas dan mendalam, manakala mahasiswa dikondisikan untuk melakukan self learning, ya, individual learning, ya. I mean not individual, ya. Self learning itu belajar mandiri itu nanti dalam bentuk kelompok juga bisa lebih baik, ya. Collaborative learning, ya. Self learning, but the result of learning should be collaborated, ya, with other students. Nah, ini penting sekali agar nanti Anda bisa mendapat kemajuan belajar secara signifikan dari kemampuan membaca, kemampuan menulis, dan kemampuan berbicara. Mungkin juga kemampuan mendengarkan kalau misalnya referensinya Anda berupa hasil seminar atau workshop yang Anda ikuti di YouTube atau di video, ya, atau mungkin di seminar onsite, ya. Nah, itu mungkin bisa menambah wawasan. Oke, jadi untuk itu sekarang saya ingin membagi kelas ini ke dalam kelompok dan memberikan tugas, ya, untuk masing-masing kelompok mendalami masing-masing topik. Ini perlu dipahami dulu, ya. Beri saya pengantar dalam bahasa Indonesia dulu, ya. Perlu dipahami kalau ada kelompok mahasiswa membahas topik A, bukan berarti kelompok lain tidak perlu membahas topik itu, ya. Nah, mahasiswa lain memahami dengan cara yang berbeda, ya, secara individual learning. Sedangkan untuk yang presenter, group learning atau collaborative learning. Nanti satu kelompok 5 orang, ya, saya jelaskan nanti bagiannya masing-masing, ya. Nah, jadi nanti partisipan non presenters bukan hanya datang kemudian mendengarkan sudah, bukan. Anda juga punya kewajiban baca materi yang sama dengan topik yang disajikan oleh penyaji presenter agar punya bahan untuk bertanya, minimal bahkan bahan untuk perkaya diskusi. Bisa jadi 5 presenter itu membaca 3, 4, 5, 6 materi ya. Tetapi Anda membaca materi yang ke-7, ke-8 yang tidak dibaca oleh presenter. Sehingga Anda bisa membagi hasil bacaan Anda. Okay? Alright. So now let's try to show ya the grouping ya. This one. Okay, so this is today, so April 3rd, yeah. So we have finished this one. Let me give that color. Nice. This will be tomorrow. Sorry, next week. Next week, I will be responsible to explain this topic to you. Yeah. So you are still free. Yeah. You just listen to me. Yeah. Yeah. But in order to be active participants, audience, I suggest that you read materials on principle of assessment. Okay. Read by yourself. Yeah, the principle of assessment. So that you will enrich my presentation. If I ask you about this one, you will be able to give good response. But if you come to the classroom without reading anything, maybe what I explain to you is new. So when I ask you something, you do not know what to ask. Yeah, you understand? Okay. Oh. Sorry. Okay, so this will be next meeting, yeah, next week. Let me keep green color, yeah. Okay, now next 2 weeks, week 3, yeah, the topic will be designing classroom assessment. Then there will be 6 groups, 6 students, yeah, who will be the member of group 1. Jadi topik ini akan dibahas 6 orang. Topik sama, tapi dari sudut pandang yang berbeda, from different perspective. The 3 first member will focus on theoretical based presentation, and then the other is empirical based. What does it mean? So the three students here will write a paper and make slides presentation, PowerPoint presentation about designing classroom assessment based on theoretical perspective from the theory. So the reference must be from several books, yeah, related to designing classroom assessment. But the other group here, the other member of the same group will present the same topic empirical based presentation. Now, this one from relevant books, yeah. This one is from relevant books, yeah. But this one from research finding. This one, yeah. Okay, this one from books. This one from research finding. Okay, what is the difference then? So these 3 members will focus their paper of designing classroom lesson by reading relevant theories. Yeah, theories. Yeah. But these other members, 3 members here, will focus on writing about designing classroom assessment based on the previous research findings. Nah, ini ya, saya ulang ini penjelasan ini pertama ini ya, biar nanti paham. Kita akan membahas topik designing classroom assessment secara teoritis maupun empiris. Teoritis berdasarkan teori-teori yang ada, dari bukunya ada, empiris berdasarkan hasil penelitian terdahulu. Nah, apa kata peneliti tentang designing classroom assessment? Misalnya begini, efektif design of classroom assessment let's say misalnya apa English assessment. Anda ini kalau yang empiris berdasarkan hasil penelitian dahulu. Anda baca-baca jurnal penelitian. Nah, ini nanti ya, kalau ini bukunya mungkin beberapa, ini penelitiannya setidaknya per level of education ya. Dari SD, SMP, SMA atau SMK, kemudian university atau college. Nah, seperti ini ya. Nah, ini ada 4 orang. Ini ada 4. Ini 3 orang ya, 3 ya. Ini ada 3. Ini ada 4 level. Mungkin silakan nanti yang satu dibagi ya, silakan itu ya. Nah, untuk theoretical ini, Anda tentu papernya formatnya sesuai dengan buku yang dirujuk. Ya, yang penting Anda akan menjelaskan konsep tentang designing classroom assessment menurut pakar yang ada. Nah, sedangkan yang empiris menurut hasil penelitian. Kalau ini levelnya begini, minimal ada berapa? Ada berapa jurnal yang dibaca? Ada berapa artikel jurnal yang dibacain? Kalau ini? Halo?
4 journal.
4 journal. Each journal present each education level. Ya, education elementary, junior, senior, and college.
University.
Ya. Nah, university, college. Ya. Nanti cari jurnal penelitian yang dilakukan di sekolah dasar tentang designing classroom assessment. Cari jurnal yang lain di junior school tentang apa yang harus diringkas nanti. Tentu pertama title-nya, kedua abstraknya di copy nanti, di copy. Kemudian introduction-nya disarikan, ya, disarikan, di apa namanya di summarize. Riset methodnya, ya, ini pakai eksperimen atau pakai apa namanya, pakai CAR atau pakai classroom atau pakai study namanya. Dan riset finding-nya, jawaban dari pertanyaannya. Kemudian conclusion and recommendation. Ini masing-masing jurnal nanti dibuat ininya. Nah, nanti akan dipresentasikan oleh ketiga orang ini. Dengan kata lain, kita akan paham tentang designing classroom assessment tidak hanya secara teoritis, tetapi juga secara empiris. Apa kata para peneliti tentang topik ini? Okay, you understand? So once again, let me repeat once again. So, group 1 consists of 2 subtopics. Yeah? The first topic is designing classroom assessment viewed from theory, and then designing classroom assessment viewed from research finding. So this is what we call theoretical based designing classroom assessment and empirical based classroom design assessment. The reference is different. For the first 3 group, we'll read books related to this topic, and then the 3 other group read research finding or research journal which is focused on this. Good. Is there any question, please? Ada pertanyaan? Is everything clear? Okay, so this is for next 3 weeks, yeah, next 3 weeks. Oh, sorry, next 2 weeks. This is next weeks. Yeah, next week it will be me, to explain about this one, yeah. But next 2 weeks, group 1. Now, who should decide the grouping? You or I? Hello?
Bapak, maybe the PIC will help Pak Hartono to divide to the group.
Okay, so you will divide, yeah?
Yes,
I will
Bapak.
share this file in our group. Then next week you should complete this division, yeah. In order to not next week, yeah. The sooner the better, yeah. Maybe tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, yeah. You can finish this grouping so that each of the students will have more time to prepare. Okay. Good. Any more question, please? Masih ada pertanyaan? No? Okay. If there is no question, I think that's all for our meeting today.
Ask question in our
Huh?
WhatsApp.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. WhatsApp group is also a tool, a media for further learning, yeah, or for the preparation of learning. I commonly ask the students to give comments, respond question through WhatsApp prior to the presentation or prior to the class meeting. That's why later each group should share the paper and slide in our WhatsApp group at least a day before, so that the other participants have time to read and give question, comment, and suggestion through our WhatsApp. So that later, during presentation, the presenters have already got good question from the participants. Okay? Do you agree that?
Yes, Bapak, we do agree.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. All right. So I think that's all our meeting today. Now for the following meetings, you may have some question through our WhatsApp group concerning the topic that I would like to present. Yeah, about the principle of assessment. Okay. All right. If there is no more question, I think this is the end of our meeting today. Once again, thank you very much for your what's that, kind attention and also good participation. Yeah, and there are many students who have been active today. But I do hope that the following meetings, other students will also participate actively during the teaching learning process. All right. Thank you very much. So see you next meeting. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes,